Good morning. I'm rested, I'm dressed, and I'm headed to Boston Logan Airport. At Boston Logan Airport, I'm going to be taking boutique air to Massena, New York. And the weather? Not so good for this. So let's hope we get lucky, make the flights, and I don't end up being late for my trip tomorrow. See you soon. Part 1 of this video series has us traveling from Boston to Massena, New York on boutique air. At this point, I'm pretty nervous because the website hasn't been working, I don't have a boarding pass, and I don't know how to get into the terminal. The bad news is no one's at the check-in gate. The good news is the website's working and I have a boarding pass. Not a TSA pre-check boarding pass, but I have a boarding pass. So I'm going to go find a clear lane, get in line, and get going. Well, I finally got through TSA, and I will say that getting through TSA, I'm gonna take my stuff off here. Getting through TSA was harder than it needed to be. My boarding pass I got online. Good news. Bad news was, as TSA said, it's not a valid boarding pass. So I had to trudge all the way back to the counter where I met someone whose command of the understanding was less than ideal. And he walked me off to stand in a TSA line that was many rows long. In point of fact, I didn't need to do that. And I literally had to walk away from him to get him to follow me to the clear line. And he kept saying to me, it's not standard. Needless to say, we got through. When you pay that much for access, you expect to get to use the access. And bonus, TSA gave me an expedited pass so I could keep my clothes on and stuff like that. I'm gonna go to the Chase Sapphire Club, get a coffee, which I haven't had today, and settle down. So we'll see you soon. Hi. The domestic clubs that I so often review here aren't to be compared with international clubs, which are a whole nother level. The real criteria is the food attractive and well made? Are the people reasonably friendly? And is there space to sit down and at least relax and enjoy yourself for a brief period of time? And this club, Chase Sapphire, has it all. So do many people fly on these flights often?
Three.
How many? Three?
Three pairs.
Two pairs.
Three pairs.
Right. Okay. Surely that isn't a start cart. Drop me a comment if you know what it is.
Here we go. And really, for the rest of this part of the video, I'm gonna just allow the sights and sounds to take control instead of talking over it. It really is something to hear and see.
it?
Yeah.
No, you got like a hump
Oh,
going
that
forward.
one? Oh,
yeah.
no, that,
Like a
that
pod.
one is the radar.
Oh, it's the radar.
Yeah, it's
all
the
right.
radar,
Gotcha.
yeah.
I left my stuff on. Is that all right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay.
You're going right back here.
Yeah. I'm literally returning back to Boston.
Oh, okay. You're gonna come right in here. We're right over here.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Stay right here.
So just here?
Yep, right in there.
Right on. Thanks, man.
Look at the.
Okay, here I am in Massena, New York. Very small airport, as you'll see on my videos. Great flight in. It's super exciting. I will say that airplane and its ability to climb and cruise is really impressive. And I was talking to the pilots. They seem to really enjoy flying it as well. So, gonna be here for a short while. They offered to let me go outside in the front, but I have to really re-clear security, and honestly, there's nothing outside in the front to recommend it. So at the end of the day, I'm going to stay here in the secure area, get back on the plane, and head back to Boston in a little while. See you soon. A few words about Boutique Air. I gotta tell you, these guys have been friendly, helpful, and by these guys, I mean the pilots, the people here in Massena, New York. Had a little trouble in Boston, and I'll talk about that on a longer part of this video, but at the end of the day, this is not the experience I see other people having on other essential air service routes. They were just spot on time. They have the right aircraft for the right job, and they're taking care of business. Who doesn't love that?
Coming up on part 2 of this video, we get to talk about this as well as some other challenges finally getting into Boston late in the day.